area or your trip.
Going to do a quick little mic check before we get started here. Like we are good to go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode, a live stream at Beat the Odds. We are going to tackle the Yahoo Fantasy Baseball live draft. We're going to do the Winners League, actually. I won, for those who may have followed me last year, I won a bunch of leagues. And when you win a league in Yahoo, you get invited to do the Winners Leagues the following year. So we're going to do a draft for Winners League here this year. I hope you guys can join us here. If you are watching this either now or on the replay, please be sure to like the live stream. And of course, I'm always interested to find out what your guys' thoughts are with regards to, players in general, where you should be drafting. Maybe you're going to watch some of the draft tonight and you've got some comments you want to leave for that. There are two, either I picked up somebody that I may not have, maybe I shouldn't have picked up, or possibly there is somebody there that I missed, or whatever it is. I'm interested in your feedback, so please do not hesitate. Let me know. I'm gonna kind of, we'll see. It's been a while since I've been on camera. Usually I do a lot of my work here kind of off camera, but it's always nice to be able to kind of jump on and do this here with you guys. So yeah, if you're a fan of this kind of stuff, be sure to like the live stream and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing fantasy baseball all season long. It starts now with the Yahoo leagues. I've been doing ESPN leagues as well. If you want to check out the ESPN live draft, it is in the playlist for 2024 fantasy baseball. Check out the channel here and look into that. Also, if you want to do some prep before you go into drafts, I have actually ranked the top 10 players in each position and the top 30 for outfielders and for starting pitchers. You can find all of that as well in my playlist there. So check that out there as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. I encourage you guys to check in here with me. Let me know who you are, what you like, who you fancy, all that kind of stuff here. We got about 10 minutes before the draft starts, so we're going to actually jump into the live draft, and we're going to do it in this, what they call presenter mode. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do the presenter mode yet. I'm going to do the live draft first, because I think presenter mode, it looks pretty, but it doesn't really allow me to set up the draft. All right, here we go. So we've got 12 teams in Yahoo, and this is, if I recall, this is going to be a head-to-head league. So I got pick number 6. It's okay, I suppose. I would like to higher pick, to be honest with you, get a shot at one of the big 3 or 4, but I'll take pick 6. Pick 6 is kind of nice because it basically allows you to cherry pick, a player here pretty evenly across all rounds. So you're not going to be necessarily stuck on having to wait 20 picks to get your next turn. It's going to be pretty steady. So I find sometimes it's easier to pick a well-rounded team that way. Okay. So what I'm going to do here real quick, we got 10 minutes before this starts. I'm going to spend 10 minutes or maybe a little less to kind of talk to you guys about who I like, who I'm going to be gunning for, who my sleepers are. I actually do have a sleepers list for you guys as well in the Yahoo Fantasy Baseball playlist. Or sorry, the Fantasy Baseball playlist for 2024. So definitely go and check that out. I've got my list of fades as well in there. Highly encourage you guys to do so. I know it's fantasy baseball is going to be picking up here big time. The swing is on here starting. Our people are going to be reporting to their teams for spring training here shortly. So there's going to be a lot of buzz here. And this is always one of my favorite times of the year to do all these drafts. So I'm glad I can show this here with you guys. Okay, let's get to some players. Now, this is a head-to-head league. One thing to note with this is I don't mind holding on to injured players in head-to-head leagues because really the goal is to have the best team available come playoff time. So if I have to hang on to, say, a Walker Bueller, for example, he may drop in drafts because he's going to be injured and you're not going to be able to use him for the first, I don't know, 6-8 weeks of the season. But that's going to be fine. If you are an active manager, you can usually stay in the thick of things if you happen to lose one player. And then once a Walker Bueller comes back, then you get his services hopefully for the rest of the season and your team's going to be stronger. So I don't mind in this type of format to do that kind of stuff. So you'll see me putting some guys aside here towards the end of the drafts to end up stashing on my IL. Okay, let's get started here. We're going to start with I don't have a whole lot of time. I got 8 minutes. We're going to start with catchers. Adley's going to be the de facto #1 pick, rightly so. So I'm not really going to spend on him. One guy I really like is Yainer Diaz, so I'm going to star him up. Hopefully, I can get him. I like Logan O'Hoppe there as well. I think he's due for. Well, he could be a good guy. If I can't get a catcher at any point during the draft, I would be fine with Logan O'Hoppe. Jonah Heim is another one that I'm keying in on. He's just going to be a bat in a good spot in the Texas order. So he's worth a look there as well. So those are 3 catchers that I like. We'll go to first baseman here. Christian Encarnacion Strand. I think he's got the ability to make an impact this year. So I'm looking at getting him possibly as well. I like Spencer Torkelson. I like young hitters who have good ceilings. I'm a big guy for trying to pick up those type of players. Alec Boehm's another one that I like. He's not flashy. He's going to give you, well, they think he's going to get 16 homers. I think he's going to more like get 20 to 25. But he's got good contact skills. I actually feature Alec Boehm in my sleepers video, so definitely go check that out. Let's go to second baseman here. I like Zach Geloff. I think he's got a shot at making some noise here this year. They think he's going to do 2020, and I would agree with that. Who else do I like on this list here? Maybe Edouard Julien, but it's going to depend on where he ends up in the lineup in Minnesota. I'm not quite sure if he's going to be leading off this year. I know he did that last year, so we'll have to see on that. Those are 2 second basemen that you'll get kind of towards the end of drafts here that I'm going to be looking at. Third baseman, I already got Alec Boehm down there. Josh Young is a guy that actually falls a lot here. I do like Royce Lewis as well. I'm hoping that I can get him. He's a little bit more, like he's within the top 100, so he's not so much of a sleeper as some. Nolan Gorman, I don't mind there as well. Ke'Bryan Hayes, I don't mind. I think both of them have the ability to impact a roster here. All right, let's go to shortstops. Ha-Seong Kim, a lot of people are going to be looking at. Ezekiel Tovar is one for me. I think he's also I have him featured on my sleeper list here. I think he's going to do well hitting near the top of the order in Colorado. Young hitter. Kind of my preference here. Vaughn Grissom is one that I'm going to keep an eye on this season. I don't know if I'm going to pick him up in my leagues, but I don't mind taking a look at him because he had a nice run in Atlanta before they sent him down. Jackson Holiday, that's a name for sure that you're going to want to take keep on your watch lists. If he makes the team out of spring training, he could be the rookie of the year this season here. Same goes for Jordan Lawler, but I think I'm going to put my money on Jackson Holiday if I had to choose between the two. We got 5 minutes left here. All right, outfielders. Let's do some outfielders here for you guys. Lane Thomas, I don't think he's going to replicate his season. Jordan Walker, somebody that I like. Riley Green is somebody I really like. Marcelo Zuna gets overlooked every year, and he's going to be DHing in that loaded Atlanta lineup, so he's not a bad one. Jackson Churio, another young hitter that I'm going to target in my drafts here. I like his speed and power combination. I am, by the way, when I draft, I try to draft as complete a team as I can. I find that it's a lot easier to be able to stay in your weeks for head to head if you are pretty solid at all categories, because it just takes one guy to go off for you to lead that category. So I like being in that position better than just like loading up on power hitters and dominating power and then just lacking in an average and runs and in stolen bases. I like to have a team that can kind of do it all. So you'll see a lot of like 2020 guys that I'm going to target here in this draft. Okay, so what do we got here? Utility pitchers. Starting to run out of time. I got like a couple minutes left, so let's go and talk some pitchers. Cole Reagans, I like. Well, actually, maybe I'll switch it to starting pitchers here, just so that way it's a little easier. Who we got here? Chris Sale's kind of interesting. I kind of like him. Braxton Garrett, Jose Barrios. Nick Pivetta is actually someone I'm going to be looking at picking up here this year as well. Let's go to some relievers. Let's see who we got. Thanks for joining us. If you guys are watching this here, please leave a like and say hi. Say hi. I would love to have conversation with you guys here while I draft. You guys can ask me whatever you like. You got me all to yourselves for the next however long this is going to take, hour and a half maybe. The next 90 minutes there, you can ask me whatever you like. For relievers, let's see. One guy I really like is Pete Fairbanks. He gets overlooked again in a lot of leagues. I like Alexis Diaz there as well. Tanner Scott's another one that I don't mind picking up. Oh, Michael King. Yeah, he's going to be a pitcher, of course, like a starter. But he's one that I'm going to target here as well. Okay. Now I got some of my guys here. What is... Go away. Okay, I'm going to leave this. How do I do that? Oh, that's my cue. Been a while since I'm done this year. Maybe I have to just exit. Okay. All right, so I'm going to exit this, and then I'm going to go back into the presenter mode. See which one I prefer. Oh, I see how this is. Okay, so in order for me to do this, what I need to do is actually log in on my phone and make my picks that way. So you guys get to see the really cool presenter screen here. And I'm going to be picking my picks from the phone. I'm going to have to be a little careful doing this because I want to be able to touch base here with you. 15 seconds left. All right. And we are live. Go back to the Hemp Clinic. Hey. I just came back from basketball, so I apologize if I'm looking a little disheveled, a little sweaty here today. And try to keep track of what's going on here. Okay, here we go. People are picking Acuna first, Freeman second. Freeman going second, I think, might be a little high. Hard for me. Ooh, Garrett Cole third. That's high as well. Gonna leave some potential good players here for me to pick from. Aaron Judge. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna get my hands on either Bobby Witt or Julio Rodriguez, and I'm loving that. From pick 6, absolutely love it. Both of them are going to be huge homer. Shohei Ohtani. Oh, I get either. Oh boy. I'm going to pick Bobby Witt because I believe we are going to see him be able to do things this year now that he is a multi-$100 million man. We're going to see him do things, I think, this year to build on his success from last year. I don't think he's slowing down any. He's one of the fastest players in the league, and he is working into that power. And he hits in Kansas City, one of the biggest ballparks, if not the biggest ballpark in the league. So the fact that he's doing all that from there is just phenomenal. Bobby Witt has gone second. Actually, if you were to take a look at his average pick in drafts, he's been going second. So to get him at 6 is an absolute bonus. I would have been happy with Julio Rodriguez, but I am stoked to get Bobby Witt. The reason why I didn't necessarily want to get Julio Rodriguez is because I will have I am going to look for power speed combinations in the outfield. I'll be able to pick up a few guys that'll be able to fit the bill. But J-Rod is an absolute beast there as well. I'm kind of hoping that Soto falls in my lap. I don't think he's going to, but if he... Oh, no, there he goes. Never mind. One thing to note that I have noted here, the first baseman position is quite top heavy. Probably center this a little bit so you guys can kind of see me a little better. It's a little top heavy, so it's not a bad idea to try to gun for one of the top, 3 or 4 first basemen if you can get them. Freddie Freeman, of course. You have Matt Olson, Bryce Harper, Pete Alonso, Vladdy. One of those 5 guys. If you can get your hands on one of them, then that is going to kind of increase your chances of getting some quality stats from that position. There's not going to be a whole lot of... I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of surprises in that category. So it's not a bad idea to go ahead and pick. There goes Olsen right now. Not a bad idea to go ahead and pick up a one of those guys if you can. There goes Austin Riley. Third base was the position I targeted last year. It was one of the weaker positions there as well. So I guess that's one thing I like to do is to try to get my corners taken care of early. Alvarez is picked. I think I'm going to try my hand at Corbin Burns. I don't normally pick up a starter this early, but the guys that I was kind of targeting were all drafted. So I don't want to pick up somebody that I would be able to find a replacement down the road. Oh my goodness, somebody picked up O'Neal Cruz this early. Wow. Not going to be that good. And Corbin Burns is definitely one of the top 3 pitchers. So to get him out of the way here, that pitcher list is just going to sink. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, nice pickup again, but way too early. It looks like Freddie or Saab Sensational Team is going to look to pick up maybe all Dodgers. We'll see. But the nice thing with my pickup of Corbin Burns is it started a starting pitcher run. Get 3 straight there. Oh, no, he's gonna pick a Bryce Harper. Ooh. So now I'm kinda looking at either corner infielder. We'll see. We've got 2 more picks before I go next. Oh, there goes Vladdy. He was the one that I was really hoping to get. There's Raffy Devers out there. Pete Alonso's out there as well. There goes Alonso. It doesn't look like I'm gonna be getting a that's all the top 5. Yeah. Yeah, they're all gone now. Olsen, Freddie Freeman. So that I failed on that one there, but I am gonna go ahead and pick up Raffy Devers. Solidify at least a corner there, and then we are gonna have to kind of scout out who we want to be able to pick up as a first baseman here down the road. I also need to solidify an outfielder here too, as I don't have one yet. Luis Robert's out there, but I don't think I'm going to be getting him before my turn comes up. We shall see. Ellie De La Cruz, average pick 39.1. Way too high, guys. If you're thinking of picking up Ellie, um, you know, you're bold. You're bold. You're really gunning on his flash and flare. And I mean, he is an absolute specimen. So I don't blame you for going that route, but strikes out way too much. Way too much for me. He's striking out in over a third of his at bats. So I can't fathom rostering somebody who is going to give me empty at bats 1 out of 3 times he steps to the plate. It's just a lot of potential offense left out um out of his stats here. So I would rather have somebody go ahead and jump in on Ellie De La Cruz in the 3rd or 4th round or wherever he's going to end up here, and um hopefully they'll be able to get the return, but just as likely that he's going to tank that team, and I'll pick up somebody that I can count on. Okay. I'm actually going to log another device in so I can see going on in chats here if we got anybody I haven't said hi to. Gunnar Henderson, that's got Randy Rosarena lined up here. See if we can get him. Oh, there goes Ellie. Randy Rosarena. Yes, sir. Not exactly a flashy pick by any. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Randy Rosarena is kind of like the definition of flash um for the Tampa Bay Rays, but I'm and I mentioned this here when I was talking about the top outfielders. I really think there's more to his game that we haven't seen yet. So I'm hoping that I'm right and we get to witness something this year that is spectacular. Oh, the ads. I'm logging in on a different device here. Let's just. There we go. All right. All right. And we're back. There goes Bo Bichette. Cody Bellinger is sitting out there. He's somebody I wouldn't mind targeting. Paul Goldschmidt's out there. Tariq Skabal's out there. I think I might pick up another pitcher here. You just kind of flip through some of picks. DJ Abrams. You know what? Go Adolis Garcia. Pick up another outfielder. A little outfield heavy to start here, but I don't really mind again because he's going to strike out a lot, but he is going to provide a lot of power. It's always nice to get a guy that you can count on that's going to be able to hit you 20 homers, or not 20 homers, 30 homers, hopefully more. Should have been paying attention here as well. It looks like some of the relievers are starting to come off the board. That could be my next pickup. Man, I'm glad you guys are watching this here. Glad you guys can join us. If you're watching this live, hello, Chuya. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time. If you're going to catch this on the replay here, then thank you for tuning in. We are now round 6, making the turn here. It's actually going faster than what I normally see for a Yahoo draft, which is always nice. I hate it when it lags. People take their time to kind of make their picks. Ooh, Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease, I'm actually shocked. Somebody reached for that 60-second pick. I like him. I think he's going to be I think he's going to have a bounce back season. I don't think we're going to see 2022 Dylan Cease. I think that was an outlier, but Shota Imanaga. Wow. Groovy team. What are you doing? Need some offense. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Let me take a quick peek just to see who's out there for relievers. Oh, Doval's out there. Yeah, all right. Well, you know what? We're going to go ahead and stake a claim on our first reliever. We need to get one. I do like Doval. It's a little wild, but I mean, a lot of your closers are a little wild. Walker Bueller's pick. People are jumping down the list. Oh yeah. So I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts on Blake Snell? I don't see him. Pardon me while I grab a drink, but I don't really see him repeating what he did this past year. Oh, okay, very good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick up Cody Bellinger. He's going to be able to slot in at that first baseman. I'm happy to get Bellinger. I think he's the real deal. I really do. I think he was unlucky in the shift years, and we got to kind of see what he could do once those rules were relaxed a little bit there. And I believe that he's going to be able to actually perform here. Still relatively young, still in his prime. I think he's going to do well this year, wherever he lands. Pretty sure it's going to be Chicago. We'll see what happens. Hmm. Pardon me. Oh, one guy that's coming up here. There's a couple of starting pitchers I'm going to be keying in on. Kodai Senga and Grayson Rodriguez. I am a huge fan of both of them. Robert Stevens. JCB Groovy's team making two very questionable picks back to back. There goes Senga. JT Real Muto has certainly fallen down the list here. I still have him as my number 2 catcher, but William Contreras and Will Smith have already been picked ahead of him. So far, I've been pretty happy with how this draft has been going. I think we are knocking off the things that we want to knock off here. I want to get, and you know what? I'm actually really happy that I got Cody Bellinger because he's going to carry, obviously, first base eligibility. And if you look at the first baseman who can steal bases, there's not a whole lot. There's Freddie Freeman, and honestly, like you look at Freddie Freeman's speed, he's not fast at all. Grayson Rodriguez just got picked up, so there goes kind of my plan on that one. Okay, here we go. So we need a second baseman. I don't think Ha-Seong Kim, who's the next second baseman up, is going to do that for me. A little stuck with what I want to do. Royce Lewis is somebody that I want to target here as well. Christian Walker's not a bad one, but I already got a first baseman. Oh, gosh. Okay, here we go. We need a starter. We might go Eflin here. I think that's the direction I'm going to head. Yeah, all right. Let's go Zach. Let's go Zach Eflin. Or Brett. Yeah, Zach Eflin. Okay. Not exactly. Oops. What happened? Yo, Yainer Diaz. Great. Well, that didn't do. What in the world is going on? I goofed on that one. That's unfortunate. But honestly, I think Yainer Diaz is going to outpace a lot of the catchers in the leagues. If I had to pick somebody, or I had to pick somebody on my squad that wasn't exactly who I wanted, I will settle with Yainer. Let's just hope that I can get one of my pitchers on the turn here. There goes Zach Eflin. I'm going to get either Bobby Miller or Joe Ryan or Kyle Bradish, really. I didn't one of the three I'd be happy with SB2, but I think I'm going to go with Miller. It's good to load up on Dodger starting pitchers because they are going to have the craziest lineup here. So you want to get a piece of that. You want to get a piece of the lineup and a piece of their rotation if you can. So we're going to go ahead and pick up Miller. So we are pretty much done the front half of the draft and the front third of the draft. So now when we get into the mid portion of the draft, we're going to be looking kind of to fill spots. So looking at my lineup here, I need a second baseman and I need an outfielder. Although I have Cody Bellinger that can play outfield, so I can also look at a first baseman. And there's still a lot of great options out there for me for those. Second baseman may be a little light right now, so I'm going to go ahead and just target some of my second baseman left. Geloff is still out there. Ketel Marte is out there, but I've got a theory on Ketel Marte that it kind of scares me to pick him up. You take a look at his OPS over the last 6 years. It's like a yo-yo. It's kind of like we saw that from Cody Bellinger as well for like 4 years or 4 years or 6 years. He had this rotation where he had a great year and then he had a terrible year, and then he had a great year. He had a terrible year, and you look at the stats here for Ketel Marte, same idea. Like he had like an 890 OPS 1 year, and then the next year he had like 680, and then he had an 850, and then another 620 or something like that. So he was on a good year the last year, which kind of makes me think he's going to be on a down year this year. So I am shying away from picking up Ketel Marte, even though, I mean, it's a little superstitious and I don't really believe in that quite so much. But I don't like what I see. Ooh, Jackson Churio just got picked. He's one of my he was one of my picks here for stashing or for trying to get towards the end of the draft for my sleeper picks, but he is gone now to a team that is now carrying 5 outfielders. One thing and it's kind of shocking as I look through these, and you can kind of see when you're looking at this list here. If I look at Saab Sensational Team, I look at GCB Groovy Team and can't speak that. I can't say that. Tongue Punch City. They're making a pretty critical error. All of them are going top heavy on a position. So Saab Sensational Team is going heavy on pitchers. They're not going to have a very complete lineup when it comes time to them trying to get an outfielder. It's not going to be a whole lot out there for them to get. All right, it is now my turn. Let us see who is kicking out here right now. I like George Springer. Don't know if that's the direction I want to go here with a lot of outfield out there. Evan Carter. You know, I might just go Evan Carter here because if they're saying what I think they're saying with him is he's going to end up hitting near the top of that lineup, which is insane. Against righties, like he's going to be right in the thick of all these monster hitters. And if that holds true, you know, you're going to see some insane counting stats from Evan Carter this year, and he can steal bases. So I don't mind that pick. But I do need to pick up. I do need to pick up a second baseman here. So Ketel Marte is looking like that might be a choice here for me, even though I'm kind of regretting that. Maybe Bryson Stott. Andre Jimenez is out there too. Jimenez might not be a bad one. I might actually go Jimenez. That comes to me. It's one of those things where I don't like to go in on guys like a Blake Snell. Um, because I feel like he was phenomenal, especially down the stretch. He was an amazing pitcher. However, um, I don't really see that success being sustainable. He's a great pitcher and all. He's a little wild. He's got near unhittable stuff. He doesn't go very deep into games. I I just see if he loses control of his command, he's going to be a nightmare to own. If you think about Blake Snell at the start of last season, he was not exactly um, lighting up rosters. Okay, back on my turn here. We need what do we need? We do need a second baseman. I need some pitchers too here. Maybe I should be looking at just to see. There. Cole Reagan's pitching is kind of getting a little light here. Uh, Maybe I should look at a starter. Let's take a look. Tanner Scott. I do need to get another solid reliever on my team. They're going pretty fast. Um, there is a theory that I have for relievers. Kind of jumping around here a little bit, so I apologize about that. There is a bit of a theory that I have for reliever pitchers. You want to again have an all around team, so you don't want to forget about relievers, but you don't necessarily have to buy in on like the best relievers. There are going to be the select 10 untouchables that are not going to lose their job. Camilo Doval will likely be one of those. It's not a bad idea to grab one, but you don't need to grab four. You can always find saves off the waiver wire if you're paying attention in your league. Um, or you can always get handcuffs to be able to set up guys that are really good that are going to chew up a couple of saves here and there, and then they may end up taking over the role at some point down the road. So there's always ways to be able to get saves, but it is good. I like to try to have at least three relievers because what I think is if I can get three relievers in a 12-man team or a 12-man league, I'm saying if I can get three relievers in a 12-team league, then there isn't 36 closers in baseball, so that's going to put me ahead of the curve uh, for potential saves out of the gate. And then all I got to do is just make sure that I'm paying close attention to the waiver wire to make sure I can pick up a guy that may just emerge on the scene and be the whatever team's closer. So Camilo Doval, I like. Tanner Scott, he's not a lock at the position. He did really well last season. He was actually a really, really good pitcher last season. I don't mind picking him up now. But if he stumbles out of the gate, we might see somebody else take up that role. Kind of nice to see is Andres Jimenez is still out there. Bryson Stott again is still out there. Both of those I think will be good picks. Yainer Diaz is actually one that I might end up picking here as well. He's lining up next. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him, but we shall see if I can actually land Inner Diaz. I might just do that because that would push. That would give me flexibility at first and at third. One thing as well that I will do on a team is, especially like head to head. I don't even know why I didn't say this. For all those who are going to be doing head to head this year, very very important. If you're going to learn one thing from me here this season, this is what you want to learn. You need to know about head to head leagues. You do not need to roster a bunch of hitters in a head-to-head league. Don't. You absolutely do not. There is going to be your average hitter is going to have 6 starts in any given week. So to have 4 or 5 bench hitters, you're not going to use them at all. Oh, Yandy Diaz and Andres Jimenez just got picked. I shouldn't have been speaking. Oh boy. Okay. I don't want to do this. You know what? We're going to go Zach Geloff. I need to solidify that second base spot. That's a shame. I was really hoping to get Yandy Diaz when I saw him. That's all right. Anyhow, you don't need to stack your team with batters. You want to stack your team with pitchers because in each week you are going to be rotating through your pitchers way more than you would be rotating through hitters. Carlos Rodon at this stage here is a good pick by Drooler's definitive team. That would be. Ooh, Riley Green is out there. He might be somebody I'm going to target here too, but I really need to start looking at some. I only got 2 starters. Or Shane Bieber's out there as well. He's somebody that I think will have a bounce back year. Still think there's a lot of juice in that tank. Okay. So what Pimp Clinic is doing is he is picking up, and again, this is not a bad. Well, actually, you know what? We're going to get to that here in a second. I got to make my pick here. Take a look at starting pitch. Get relievers. Ooh, not a whole lot left in the world of relievers here. All right, let's go back to starters. I'm going to pick up Tanner Butt. Not going to be blessing me with a whole lot of wins, I'm sure, playing on that Cleveland team, but he's filthy. I got a chance to see him pitch last season, not in person. I'm a huge Jays fan, so I'll try to watch as many Jays games as possible. And they faced off against Tanner Bybee, and yeah, I think that was a game where he might have got 1 hit in like 8 innings, 7 innings or something like that. He was disgusting. So I'm kind of happy that he's on my roster. I might actually pick up Shane Bieber too. Hope for a bit of a resurgence this year. So kind of going back to finishing that thought, you're going to be cycling through your pitchers, so you're going to want to pick up a lot of pitchers for your bench. Because the more pitchers you pick up, you're going to be able to rack up more strikeouts, give you better chances of getting wins, and you can be able to do really well in those 2 categories. Strikeouts, wins, saves, of course, that's going to be more how many relievers that you get, how many closers you end up getting there. If you really want to stack up on saves, and picking up 4 closers is the way to go. That kind of solidifies your ability to do well in that category. but you certainly want to pick up as many pitchers as you can. I like to have one batter on my bench and the rest pitchers. I think there's gonna be 5. I think there's 5 bench in Yahoo. So I'll do one batter, and I like to have a batter that's gonna be able to help out and play multiple positions. Because it's always good to have a backup in case one of your hitters goes down. Um, and then for pitchers, again, you just want to be able to load up on as many as you can get. Don't be shy. We're coming up. This is now round 14. Take a look to see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 more rounds to go, so we're past the halfway mark. If you guys are watching this again, thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Please leave a like. Jonah Heim, round 14. Nice pick. Oh, there goes Shane Bieber. Darn. Not getting him, but that's okay. That is okay. But let's take a look. There's some hitters just to kind of see who's out there. Alec Boehm, I do like him. Max Muncy, I think, again, he's going to be a big part of that lineup. Not a bad one to consider. Cedric Mullins. See, he's batting now that all that youth is there. He's not going to be hitting near the top of the lineup. Riley Green. Okay, yeah, we're going to go with Riley Green. I know I'm picking up. This is now my 5th outfielder, so I'm a little outfield heavy. Riley Green is going to basically. I don't mind having rostering 5 outfielders. He's gonna play on my util spot there. I'm okay with that. He's a great hitter, great young hitter, and is going to be able to pitch in, hopefully with some stolen bases there as well. Okay. Back over to me here. Take a look at what we're looking at. Hunter Brown is out there. Christian Javier is out there. Both of them are going to be high strikeout pitchers here. I think I'm. Take a look at here. Yeah, we don't need a whole lot of hitters. We need 2 more hitters to finish off the squad. I need a bunch of pitchers. So we're going to go ahead and draft Hunter Brown. I like his chances of improving on his numbers from last season. But yeah, you're going to see our next few pickups here are going to be pitcher heavy. All right. Coming back on the turn here. Back my way. Let's take a look at who is available out. Max Muncy. Back up my third baseman. I don't have a backup third baseman yet. Might end up going. I think that's what we're going to do. Let's solidify. Now I only need one more batter. I like that. I do like that. He's going to hurt on the average, but he is going to hopefully enjoy a nice, cushy season. Loaded Dodger lineup. And maybe, just maybe, I might get some multi-position eligibility at. I'll see. He might get me some second base down the road too. Might get me some first base. He's been known to do that. Seven picks left. Yeah, I should actually. Because I typically pick up less hitters, I want to make sure that the hitters that I pick up are good. Near the top of my list of things to pick up usually is hitters. I typically go hitter heavy. So that way I'm not stuck picking up the scraps after the fact. I might go Braxton Garrett. Oh, I'm on the clock. Oh, happened again. There goes Garrett. That's disappointing. I didn't even realize I was on the clock. Wasn't paying. I am not up on my game here. I apologize, guys. Logan O'Hoppe, though, again, worst picks out there, but I certainly don't need a backup catcher. So I might have to use him as a trade piece. That's disappointing. Bit of a blunder, but that's okay. That's okay. Probably take out whatever. Oh, actually, no, those guys are still good to have on a queue. We may end up going with an extra batter in this draft just because Logan O'Hoppe was certainly not in the plans. I wanted to have somebody to be able to back up some of my other infield positions, not necessarily get a backup at catcher. So we may end up going with another hitter spot here. As shall see. As I see this now, I am next. I guess I'm not all that used to this format because, well, I mean, it chimes to say that it's my turn, but certainly wasn't paying attention. Okay, let's see what we got for a pitch. A lot of the pitchers that I really wanted to target have been picked. Very unfortunate for me. We are gonna go. That I was picked. Okay, let's go Fots. Another strikeout pitch. I think I should look a quick little peek at who we got left for relievers. Not a whole lot there. I need to solidify one more. So that way I can have my three and just feel decent about it. And then just keep an eye out waiver wire for another one at some point. All right, we're up in 3 picks. I'm gonna go ahead and lock down Jose Leclerc. I think. Hope that he runs away with that the closer job. All right, here we go. Clerk joining the squad. Picks coming up here pretty soon. Another another 5 or so picks. 3 of those are auto picks. Kind of a shame to have auto pickers in a winners league, but you don't show up, you don't show up. I think for the most part, with the exception of the early picks for my catchers, I think we've achieved kind of what I was hoping to achieve in this draft. Actually, interestingly enough, those catcher picks, I would have liked to. I may not have gotten Yainer Diaz. I think you know if you're in a winners league, then you're probably well aware that he is going to be taking the majority of starts at catcher. Um, so there's a chance that he may have gone in an earlier round than I would have liked. So I don't mind landing him a little early. The Logan Hoppy one is a complete mistake, and I'll have to remedy that at some point here this season, more than likely. All right, here we go. Let's go. Where do I want it? No, let's go and get Estevez. We got 4. I'm going to pick up 2 more starting pitchers. And I've got a couple on my list here that I like, and I might target Jackson Holiday on the team, maybe with my last pick, just to kind of see if we can get a potential positional infielder on the team. I want to thank you guys again for joining us here tonight. If this was something that you enjoyed, whether watching it live or watching it on the replay, I'm sure I'll be one of the first ones to have posted a full draft on YouTube. But yeah, if you're a fan of this kind of stuff here, well, it looks like it is my pick here. I should probably pay attention. Go ahead and pick Edward Cabrera. I would love for you to leave a like on the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet done so. I will be doing fantasy baseball coverage every week for the entire season. I do it for baseball. I do it for basketball. If you're interested in basketball, you should check out the channel. There's a lot up there. I do a weekly episode of who to pick up every week. I'll typically do another episode kind of talking about people who you should be dropping, or people that are breakout candidates, that kind of stuff. It's always good time. Always a good time. So definitely check out that content. Leave comments. I always appreciate that. We are actually starting to do now that we've gotten big enough. There are subscriptions available. I'm not really going to I'm not going to try to sell you guys on this stuff. All it is just a way to be able to help out the channel. I put a lot of time and effort into these episodes and stuff here for you. So any little bit that you can do here, whether it's a like on the video, a subscribe to the channel, or if you want to leave, a sticker, a super sticker, or if you want to do subscriptions, I appreciate it all. But certainly no pressure. You do whatever you feel. I think the next pick I am going to get here is going to be Jackson Holiday. Lock down a potential gigantic player. It would have been a good one here to stash in the IL. I didn't pick up any stash in that sense here. That's okay. We got a pretty full pitchers lineup here. I've got one more, and I've got two Toronto Blue Jays lined up here in my queue. Again, if you're new to Yahoo Fantasy, or just fantasy baseball in general, or fantasy sports in general, I highly suggest you use a queue. I kind of went over that a little bit at the start of all this. Before the draft started, I was picking up players that I liked, showing you guys kind of some of the guys here that you can hopefully get in the later parts of your draft, like your sleepers and all that kind of stuff. I put them into my queue, so that way I can try to pick up one of them as I go down the road. Jackson Holiday was in my queue for a while now, and I got two more pitchers in my queue here, both from Toronto. Yusei Kikuchi and Alek Manoah. Now Kikuchi, I like a little bit more because it looks like he made an adjustment kind of in the second half of last season to work on working on his slider, and he got some really good results. So I'm hoping that carries forward to this season. He is a little wild, and it's interesting with Manoah, depending on how that pitching rotation kind of lines up. The two of them might be fighting for the last spot on the Blue Jays starting rotation. So I'm going to go with Kikuchi. I think it still remains when it's my turn. I'm going to be picking next, and then I'll keep an eye on Manoah. The nice thing about kind of picking, all right, Kikuchi's coming on the team. The nice thing about doing the drafts early is you get the opportunity to, you know, focus in on who's doing really well in spring season. And I know that spring season stats don't usually carry over to the regular season, but the jobs do, at least to start the season. If you are a young player, Jackson Holiday, and you're playing lights out baseball in spring, you make it on the squad, you're going to be getting the keys to the shortstop position. That is a great player to have on your team, and I got him in round 22. So, and there are going to be guys like this are going to be sitting on the waiver wire. So if you're paying attention and you see that there are players that are potentially going to useful on your fantasy team, you get a chance to kind of make those um, switches before the season start, and they don't penalize you uh, for doing that as long as the season hasn't started yet. Of course, once you get into your first week of the season, then you got so many trades you can do in a week. Or not trades, sorry. You get so many waiver wire pickups you can do in a week. But if it's the start of, like, if it's before the start of the season, it's unlimited. You basically can overhaul the majority of your team if you want. Not that I'm going to do that, but I am going to be taking a look at, who's doing well um, in spring training, and potentially look at getting them onto the squad here. All right, we're down to the last pick of the draft. I thank you guys again for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to see, I can't exactly remember what this ends up looking like at the end of the draft, but we'll take a look to see kind of what is showing. Oh, actually, button down here. Betcha. All right, so the draft is complete. Let me see if I can take, not like that. Okay. Just give me a quick second, guys. Gosh. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's gonna pretty much care of. Okay, here we go. This is up. This is what I want to do. I want to show you guys kind of how things ended up working out here for me for drafts. So one of the things that I like to do at the end of drafts is take a look to see exactly how rounded of a team I've got. So these are, you're looking right now as 2023 stats. Let's take a look at. I don't think they got projected stats here. They don't give anything. Cody Bellinger, because you know what? Let's go back to the stats for 20. We'll just look at those. Okay, so ideally, I like to have a handful of guys, like 5 guys, that's going to be able to score 80 runs or more. And looking at my lineup, I got lots. I got Bellinger, who did 95 last season, Devers, who was 90, Bobby Witt 97, Randy Rosarina 5, Adolis Garcia 108, Max Muncy 95, and then I've got guys like Evan Carter that's likely going to be up there in runs. So my team is going to be healthy for runs scored. At Yainer Diaz only had 355 at bats here. He's going to be closer to 500 this year, so you can almost add 20% to these numbers potentially. He could be a beast at a catcher position. Next, I want guys that can hit 25 homers or more, ideally 5 of those. And I've got, again, a bunch. I got Diaz probably is going to do that. Cody Bellinger did it last year. Devers did it last year. Witt did it last year. Rosarino was close. Garcia did it last year. Muncy did it last year. There's a ton of guys that are going to be able to do that here. RBI, 5 to hit 80 RBI or more. Bellinger again, Devers again. Oh, I haven't even talked Geloff here. He only did 270 at bats. I know you're going to see a drop off for Geloff likely this season. He's probably not going to hit 267. He may be a 2020 guy. He's not going to be really a 30-30 guy, but at least he's going to cash in on some stolen bags. Devers 30, Witt 30, Garcia almost 40, Muncy 30, Healthy 30. So enough guys here that can be able to pop the ball over the fence here. Oh, sorry, I was talking about runs batted in. Same idea, yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on my team that can drive in runs here. Stolen bases, at least to get 5 guys that can steal 20 bags or more. I might get it from Cody this year. Probably get it from Geloff. Should be able to get it from Witt. Should be able to get it from Arozarena. Might be able to get it from Carter. So that's 5. I don't know if I'm going to get it from Green. He certainly has the speed to do it here, but it's not a main focus of his game. Maybe Jackson Holiday. If he makes it to the team here, he's got some speed. He might be able to cash in on a few stolen bags too. And then here for average, I'd like to have 5 guys hitting 280 or more if I can on the team. Got Diaz, got Bellinger. It's a little more important with this team because I'm going to be rostering Muncy to have a lot of guys that can actually hit. I got 4. Evan Carter, Riley Green. Witt could do it there. Devers could do it. I know they're both solid contact hitters with power. So we'll see kind of how that plays out over the course of the year. But that team's pretty good in that sense here. There's a couple of guys that are going to be dragging down the average there a little bit, but I should be able to keep the total average over 265 or so. Moving on to pitchers. Wins, I don't really concern myself too much because I'm going to be able to get wins pretty much through the season there anyways, just cycling out pitchers. Saves, I got Doval, Scott, and Leclerc and Estevez. So I got 4 closers, not too bad. For strikeouts, I'm looking for guys that can strike out more than 1 batter per inning. So I got Burns. Doval will do it. Scott will do it. Bybee's pretty close. Brown's going to do it. Fott should do it. Leclerc will do it. Estevez will do it. Cabrera will do it. Kikuchi will do it. So my guys are going to be able to strike out quite a few hitters. So that's really, really good to see. ERA, again, want to try to keep the ERA 3.5 or less if I can. Burns, I think we're going to see something special from him this season on his new team. I'll be excited to see how his line's going to turn out. If he ends up being an absolute beast, then this might be my favorite pick of the draft. Miller, again, he's kind of young. We'll see how he turns out in year 2. Doval should be able to keep it under 3. Tanner Scott had an amazing season last year. He should be able to keep it under 3. About under 3.5. Bybee might be able to do it. Hunter Brown was up and down last season here, but I expect him to be able to. I don't think he's going to be keeping it under 3.5, but he might be able to keep it closer to 4. Botts, and we'll see kind of how this plays out here with him. He had a high ERA, of course, walked a lot of guys. Edward Cabrera, he might be able to do it here. Yusei Kikuchi, he might be able to do it. So my ERA is going to be a little high, possibly with hits, innings pitched. A few guys in there that's going to be able to keep that kind of under the 1.2. But I've got some guys that are going to be going over that there as well. So I just going to have to really kind of take my lumps in the ERA and whip departments here in favor of making sure I get good counting stats and win strikeouts. So yeah, all told here, I feel pretty comfortable with the team. Kind of happy about how it all went down here. If you have any comments about how I ended up drafting here, I'd love to hear it. This again is a head-to-head league here, so it's win-loss tie week by week. Hopefully, I'll be able to land my team in #1 spot at the end of this. But that's going to do it here for the stream. I thank you guys again for joining us here. Leave a like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We're going to be doing baseball all season long. Can't wait. That's going to do it here for me. Thank you guys again for watching. I'm going to sign off for now, but I will catch you guys on our next episode.